What's up, Fortnite fam? Welcome back to the DreamHack Grand Finals featuring Fortnite, presented by DreamHack, of course. The team here putting on the great show. It's Monster D-Face and Fallout delivering the action for the EU scene today, and things have been cooking up here in the competition. We're just approaching Fallout that game 4, which means we're halfway through the competition right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've loved our end games. Loved a lot of our early game fights. It just continues to be a theme. We're seeing a lot and catching a lot of the action early on. A lot of early aggression based on, again, certain scenarios, and I keep hitting on it, but Mr. Savage playing very, very aggressive last game with his loadout, with his crash pad. So we'll keep an eye on that, Mr. Savage's trajectory. We'll also keep an eye on Caddy Corner, I think a little bit more this game, because we haven't seen any Shockwave Launcher. We haven't seen really many mythic weapons come into effect here too much so far in our grand final, and we're 3 games in. So we'll see why that is. We'll see what's happening at Caddy Corner if we can catch the action and see who's exactly fighting in the southeast side of the map.
I mean, that's right. We saw game 1 owned by Sebi, who came in with a third party, the Costa Rican, who's playing on the EU servers right now. Like I said, he took game 1, and Nas takes game 2. And then Teak, of course, concluded game 3. So halfway through the competition, already a mix-up. No one being too dominant so far, other than Mr. Savage's consistency towards the top of the food chain. But Nas was shut down in the previous game. It's a matter of whether or not he can continue to pick it back up, or is he fizzled out now, though? We're jumping in with Benji Fishy here at the lake. Let's see. He's looking straight up for a fight right now. This player's actually tagged up. Not sure what happened.
Yeah,
but he's lit up.
Vortexers that got, Vortexers got some shots on him, and I think Benji heard the dink. So it's a good feeling when you know someone's hurt and you can play with aggression in this fight. Seems like Benji has that intel. A little slipperoo, good movement coming through. Not getting the edit just yet. Playing it slow here. It's got to be pretty quick because Vortexers and maybe the other player in the area might be looming nearby.
The one thing I want to talk about is Benji's awareness and understanding of this terrain here. You just see how fast he's able to choke point, cut him off. Look, he knows all the ins and outs, and another shot exactly. That's map awareness 101. And I mean, we talked about him returning to Lazy Lake, but hey, you can see muscle memory doesn't go anywhere. He knows the layout of this area like no other.
That's exactly right. It reminded me of Nick Merckx playing Tilted Towers back in the day, of how well he was rotating and moving around each and every building, each and every crevice. Meanwhile, Nikov from France, representing Team Vitality, the renowned French organization, in a 1-versus-1 here. He currently is sitting within the top 7, top 8. So a good start for Nikov. 111 points to his name, as you see.
People forget, Nikov's been around for a long time. Team Vitality's got themselves a nice little roster going here. Sweaty Sands, though, is the drop spot, one of which has had a couple changes. You can see good portions of it still underwater, playing true to that new chapter season theme. Nikov, though, cutting around here. 2 SMGs in a loadout, no shotguns. He's going to have to play an interesting kind of close quarter engagement here if he wants to come out on top. But opting to play the low ground right now, see if he can bait this player down, maybe into his shots here. I think we saw a little kind of note there. He had 12 elims. Was that correct for the last game?
Pretty low.
Incredible.
Yeah. Very low, over 7 or 8 games. So it's all placement, all consistency. And meanwhile, we're getting some reports that may have been Wolfies that Benji took out over in Lazy Lake. He's been opting for Lazy Lake drop instead of Caddy Corner again. We're not entirely sure why, because we've missed a few of the Caddy Corner fights. So we'll hopefully catch that area a bit more as we're now watching Nikov in a 1v, connects for a little bit of damage, but takes the damage back. He does have the advantage in this fight, though.
He's using those crash pads brilliantly here to go ahead and chop in some peak shots here. He's going to use them again, and let's see. Yes, the charge is going to follow up, and that's what I meant. Just sneak in those little chip shots there. Remember, this wasn't possible before without the shotgun, but he did manage to find one before pushing out there. And yes, some serious fall damage. It would have been such a shame if he would have died right there, taking out the game.
Yeah, nice job, though. I like the aggression from Nikov. I love the crash pad plays in that scenario. It kind of reminds me of bounce pad meta back again in Chapter 1. Crash pads being used in a similar light, of course. It also breaks structures, so it gives you an opportunity to play aggressive in box fights. It can result in some wacky situations and unfortunate situations for some players, but for the most part, nice little shake-up here in Chapter 2. Meanwhile, Kiku on board with him, the Portuguese sensation of Aztec, in a fight. Again, we're over towards the Caddy Corner side of the map. We did see a gentleman in Caddy Corner as one individual playing inside Caddy Corner. Again, not Wolfies, as he did divert to Lazy Lake instead. So someone will have Caddy for free, but we'll see if the rotations come through.
Now remember, Kiku did come first place in his open qualification for Heat 2, meaning that he's got some serious gas in the tank once he gets going, but it's a matter of if he can get it going. Only 40 points coming into the halfway of the competition mark now. This is the time to really step it up. Maybe even play for some frags. We'll see, though. As he's not out of the competition in full, it's still a matter of everyone here playing consistent. Remember, 8 games is a lot of games. You can think about how taxing that is just on the players themselves, keeping that mentality up. This is one of the things we spoke about before. Solos is all a mentality game. Kiko's going to walk into ambush zone. He gets tagged up. Let's see if he can keep his cool here, though. He does have a shotgun. He's going to land 2 shots. He's going to get it. This is what I'm talking about. He's got it going on once he's going. It's Muhammad SR4 who gets taken out, though.
You got to be kidding me. That play from Kiku was insane over Muhammad, who's one of our double qualifiers for NA and EU. Not sure if that's... I haven't heard a whole lot about Muhammad as a player. So not sure if Muhammad is playing on his full tag, but I personally don't know a lot about his background. But a good start for Muhammad, double qualifying, but a bad game right here as Kiku gets the elim after getting caught off guard. Now on board with Mongrel, showing some love back over towards Authority. Mongrel's been dropping here consistently. It looks like he's the only remaining member at Authority and does not have any mythic weapons. So again, we wonder, like Castry did in game 1, did someone grab those mythics and dip? Or what is the situation? We will see.
It's the same thing with Caddy's Corner as well. You get that shockwave launcher, you just hit the boogie down straight off the side. Mongrel, though, this time you can see he's doing a much different job at farming. That's all he's doing, focusing on resources here. No longer does he want to approach mid game without max material, recognizing that's probably been a downfall for him in the first few games. I mean, granted, he's picked up 80+ points based off of a few elims, making it through to some mid game placement, but he needs more. He's going to need more if he wants to continue to break his way into the top here. He's about 100 points away from first place, Mr. Savage, who had 180 coming into this. So just shows you guys how much of a gap he has to fulfill here.
Exactly right. Saw the fun fact of Mongrel, also one of our double quals alongside Muhammad, Benji Fishy, many others have double qualified. Mr. Savage, Tayson is double qualified. Bad Sniper and Snazy of Grizzy all are double qualifiers. So pretty impressive. You'll be seeing their names in North America East. Of course, we don't get too far ahead of ourselves because EU has been a blast to watch for so far. And the Greek in me is getting excited. However, NA East will be live after this. Make sure to set your calendars or your alarm clocks for later on this afternoon for our continued broadcast. NA East brought to you by Bala and Shio.
That is right. And now hopping on over to the other side of the map, we're just outside of Retail Row. We've seen a few fights go down here. Pretty interesting engagements now. You have to think about it. A fight that happens back here is highly likely to be completely isolated, so you're going to get a fair fight. But these Marauders might be the death of Syphic here. They're going to draw attention towards him, and there's someone lurking on the mountain out behind. We'll see if he sits still. He will be getting essentially sniped here. Someone's getting closer and closer, like we said, from behind. Yes, there goes the sniper. Don't know who this is, but judging by the points, I don't know. This might be Benji or someone here. It's 100 points. This is someone who is very much in the competition right now. Sniper shot comes out, and yes, he is going to connect. And just like that, that's going to be the drop on Syphic.
Crazy. I gotta say, we've seen so many plays. We've been blessed. It's like montage material here with the amount of snipes, hunting rifle shots, quick scopes we've gotten. Meanwhile, Tayson got eliminated early last game, I believe it was. Wants to have a better game here if he can. He's gonna get to an opponent that's pretty damaged, but still playing with aggression in the 1 versus 1.
Regardless, though, someone is going to be the one on top here. Now Tayson is well behind here. No heals. And unfortunately, only 50 HP to work with. The player down below does have a tactical shotgun, so lucky for him, he does not have to worry about getting one and done, at least not with the current state of the tack. You need a really good shot from the tack in order to hit for over 50 from a distance.
And by the way, I can confirm it was, I believe, Tomsy who got that snipe shot, and he's been playing southeast side of the map over towards Caddy Corner and has 100 points. So the man from Wales who's been putting on the show has had a couple good rounds here. Does get that pick. Back to Tayson.
Yeah, good call there. For a second, I thought it might have been, the Benji rotate out of Lazy Lake, considering that it was just outside of Retail Row. But good to know that Tomsy's still racking up points, which means that we might see him in another crazy endgame. He had quite the tear just about 2 games ago. here, though. This is a pretty drawn-out battle. A matter of who's going to be able to hit the shot first. There's a campfire going down, though. Tayson does not have any material left to work with. And yes, the patient play there. He's going to find the headshot. And now the siphon to keep him in the running.
Well played from Tayson. That was actually a pretty even-keeled fight, as the player that had the disadvantage was able to kind of even things out with a couple good shots. But in the end, Tayson did come out on top, gets a much-needed siphon, 2 shield, and 100 health to his name. So he needs some loot, he needs some mats, he needs a lot right now. Luckily, I don't see anyone on the minimap around him, so he should be pretty clean on this rotation through. We do know Tayson plays Steamy, I believe, that area. So as he's making this rotation, he should, so he should be able to get some loot, some mats for free. Is typically what we've seen is a lot more players are dropping on the south side of the map than the north side of the map. That was a theme that we saw on Friday, carried through on Saturday, and I think it might be carrying through a little bit here on Sunday as well. Of course, the south side of the map being more populated because there are 3 mythic spots with mythic items.
I mean, it makes sense, too, as to why players like Savage is, having so much success. He's landing as far north as you can go. Yeah. So the fact that he's avoiding the mass player base and has a whole spot to himself, I mean, it's all in his favor, but Steelix is finally going to catch a little bit of luck. This might be his final break here as he finds possibly his first elim or second of the competition. He really hasn't done too much today after a pretty decent 2 days, but back with Tayson, who's found himself some shields to heal up. I think he's managed to find himself some splashes. Yep. It's going to pull him up to 52 shield here. Now at least he's in the game, not looking too shabby. Remember, he does land here, so he's got a fair idea that there shouldn't be anyone nearby. He's going to go ahead and regather up some mats, but it's the zone that he's going to have to worry about now. He has to cut all the way down southwest.
He just destroyed a corporate logo. That's vandalism from Taze. You don't like to see it. Meanwhile, we did see the replay from Scram, go by Scram Guard, representing his duo with the same last name and Refscar, same end of the name and Refsguard. Big shout to Refsguard and Scram. Fun duo to watch. They got a lot of love for each other. I saw them sharing that love on Twitter yesterday. You love to see it. Big shout to both of them. Look at this replay in slow-mo. What a shot from Steelix with the snipe.
That's right. We're focusing back in on Tayson, who's got to make a big rotate here. Remember, Tayson is in that top 20 bracket right now. 98 points. This elim here is going to help propel him upwards. Closer and closer to Tomzy, who's pretty much neck and neck with Tomzy, also, of course, finding that other elim that we got to cover here. Another pack of Marauders behind Tayson, but he's not too worried about any of these other AI factors and threats. More so as he is about the storm that's pushing behind him. It's just about getting to this safe zone here. Overall, he's in a pretty bad situation if you really think about it coming into mid-game. Doesn't have max material, doesn't have too much ammunition or heals to work with here.
Coming up on Teak, our winner from last game, second place from the game before, currently in second place behind Mr. Savage. Looks like he's just going to swim right past him. Doesn't recognize that Teak is actually here, so Teak could catch him off guard. May have heard the audio cue coming through, but it looks like Tayson's just going to take a page from Teak's book and post up with some cover around him.
For a second there, I thought we were going to see Teak versus Tayson here in the farms.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to get away with his life right now. As Teak looks like he is super looted and booted for the battle right now. The max shields and stuff like that just hanging out here. It's not going to be moving at all. Tayson, though, is on the rotate through the frenzy right now. Back with CRR, though. He's going to fight.
Yeah, CRR, our controller player, getting tagged up from the side and in a 1v1. So, meanwhile, Tayson just got sniped. Another clean headshot. We've had so many of them, I believe. A sniper headshot again, but meanwhile, CRR going to pick up a big elim on Reason. So, Reason, the one that we've been hyping up so much and has performed most consistently, really, I think any player in this lobby, in terms of his placements on Friday and Saturday, not the start he wanted. Hopefully in the back half, games 5 through 8, he can bounce back.
Just west of the risky reels here. Unfortunate for Reason to go down right now. Like we said, he started off strong. He was in 14th place after game 1. Managed to continue to hold it through for game 2, but now into 4. He's had a struggle. I wonder what's going on with him. We haven't seen too much of his perspective, but you can tell that something's not connecting right now in this higher caliber of lobby. Much different than solos, much different than your typical opens format. Once you get everyone who's a Slayer and is this good at the game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. On board of advise. Now, Reason in 24th place. So we haven't seen him do a whole lot on camera, that is, but still not a horrible position. Of course, that placement's going to lower now as he got eliminated early from this game. So expect that 24th place to go down to maybe a 35th or 40th potentially, as now on board with Mongrel. Speaking of Mythics, finally, for the first time in 4 games, we're going to see some Mythics come into play here. It's going to be a Mythic Burst AR, Ocean's Burst, and Ocean's Bottomless Chug Jug. Of course, one is probably more useful than the other in competitive play, and in late game, it's going to be that burst that does so much damage if you can connect for the 3 shots of the burst.
Yeah, and actually, I want to give a little more credit to Reason then. If he's in 24th still, so he's playing pretty good. Yeah, think about it. That's fairly consistent across the board. Remember, if he can continue that, he'll very well be on his way to top 10. It's so hard for these players to play 8 great games, or let alone 8 consistent games. If we can see that continue to happen, those are the ones that come out always favorable here. Talk about a favorable situation to be in, though. Magru catches a huge tag, followed by the body shot as well. He's trying to get into the box right now. Looking to grab this cone, possibly get in. No, he's just going to go straight in. But
oh, no.
What is this aim? Wait a second. Looks like Mongrel straight ran out of mouse pad space or something there. That is not typical of Mongrel, who tends to win these kind of fights, especially with all the advantage, but it's the Deceptos who comes out on top now. Wow.
Did Mongrel give his keyboard and mouse to, maybe a brother or something? That did not look like Mongrel, but, we all have those moments. And now the Bottomless Chug is actually going to come into huge effect here, as Deceptos with a massive elimination on Mongrel. You can hardly believe what we just saw. Complete misplay. Unfortunate for Mongrel. Deceptos gets the better end of that stick.
And I mean, that's exactly what we talked about at the top of the show. Grand Finals day, the nerves are so high, and for some people, it's just too much to put on the performing boots when it matters most. But someone who is doing it, it's Rax here, who's going to find a 2-piece right there, back-to-back special. And now he's at 4 eliminations and bouncing back, somehow managing to lose his inventory. No, wait, he does have his shotgun there. And yes, he is going to be able to pick up all of the rewards right now. A nice, hefty amount of loot here. Several upgrades as well. So Rax is in the game right now. He's having such a good day. 134 points right now. You think about it, the 4 elims in this game alone is 20. So much propelling that he's doing. He's really inching his way up the food chain right now.
Yeah, and he was already in the running for the food chain. 9th place is where he was. That puts him in the top 6, depending on how the other players are doing. But Rax, speaking of someone who is performing under the pressure as it currently stands, massive 2 elims picked up by Rax right there. I was really impressed.
Absolutely here. Things are getting closer and closer. We said that was a crazy Rax mid-game fight. I appreciate it here. Here's Fast Strokey. Not doing too hot in the competition right now. He's kind of middling here. 59 points. Looking to really secure something here. Here's Benji 4K sitting up above. Good little crack right there. Through the falling and breaking of the build. Some phenomenal tracking, honestly. And it looks like he's going to be able to find the shotgun shot that matters there. And now Fastrokey's got himself a nice elim. Remember, just one pop-off game and they'll throw him up over 100 points, which means that you're looking pretty decent into the middle of the competition. So don't count anyone out. These guys are very much on the bubble for making something happen. Players like Steelix, on the other hand, are going to need so much more to become relevant in the, grand scale of things.
Now, take a look at his inventory. Pretty good loot. 6 minis, floppers, has a pepper for rotations, and that common, typical AR and charged shotgun loadout that you like to see. He's going to want to up his rarity if he can, so it'd be good for him to get a limb here, and it's exactly what's going to happen. He picks up 1. Steelix had the nice snipe headshot earlier, dropped that sniper, now gets upgraded to a blue charged shotgun. I like his loadout. I feel great about his situation here. Meanwhile, let's take a look at that replay with Mongrel here, where just misses an opportunity of a lifetime to get an easy elim, and unfortunate for him, he gets taken out.
That's right. And I mean, like we said, he had everything going for him. He did manage to find all the tags. He slipped into the builds, but to not hit the aim right there, the sweaty hands, once they come into full effect, it's okay. The half in, half out now has revealed itself. It looks like this is pulling straight south here. A lot of players are still going to have to make a move here. This is the congested zone portion as well. The west and the south portions, you can see most of which are going to already be here when the zone was shown. So means that we're going to have a stacked endgame fallout.
Exactly right. 50 players left. Yeah, just an unfortunate situation for Mongrel in that fight, but again, not necessarily on him. Keeping an eye on our tour right now with 49 players. Looks like Popo's going to pick up an limb. A couple more picked up as well. Just taking a quick look at the over on the left of your screen. Kami's still alive. Way's still alive. Way's someone we haven't seen pop off too much just yet. Excited to see what he can do, but he's making it to most late games. Nikov also in the top 10 running, still alive as well.
Players I'm excited to see here is a Nas, who was taken out so early in the last game, stopped dead in his tracks at 130 points. Now finally here, making it through all the way to the tail end. Another player that we saw out there was here it is, Hardfine, who's landing at Authority. So again, Hardfine still managing to survive the Authority and make himself relevant in the competition. See players like Janice, who still are trying to sneak their way to another end game to see if he can break back into that top 20. As he's close by as well. He's on the bubble for pulling through. Another notable tag there. Moraine still in the game. NRG, Benji, Fishy, and Teak, who has got a second, first, and now, once again, approaching mid-game. We'll see if Teak can make another end game. If he does, I mean, he might just be able to snatch the throne from Mr. Savage. I don't think I see Mr. Savage here just yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either. So it might be an opportunity now for someone to take that first place finish. Perhaps, you know, I'm not sure if I see Toos, who's in third, Teak. So we'll see what can happen in this end game. It's gonna 46 players, absolutely stacked, as we're gonna have our first rotating or moving circle. And we'll see what players have to rotate through with. Again, this is a Frenzy Farm finish, which one of my favorite finishes, or at least within that region, within that area, because there's not a lot of elevation. It's kind of tried and true Fortnite here, so I'm excited to see how this plays out. Glider gun in the hands of Artur.
That's right. Artur manages to somehow secure this mythic loot from the Authority here, and you're seeing how good it can be in this endgame for those free rotates here. Moraine's going to get chipped off by Artur with the prime positioning due to the hands of the grappler, and now another player is becoming the victim as well, as he's tagging players left and right here with the pinch shots. Now looking to work his way around here. Once again, this grappler does give him the glider effect as well, allowing him to stretch out his rotates. It's looking all too good here. 30 players remaining. Remember, the no nameplates mean that Mr. Savage can very well still be in this game, so don't count anyone out. Remember, we also saw Trulix, we saw Rax. This is your top 10 players all still in the running right now, becoming closer and closer. Anyone that falls now is going to be trailing behind, so we're talking a play for positioning here on the actual leaderboards. Here's Janice, who's going to fall. No, the champ goes down, unfortunate. And Artur is running up a scene here, seriously catching so many points right now. It's ridiculous.
That's exactly right. Kami is someone who we have not seen pop off too much. 106 points, though, so he's up there in the running. That would put him in top 15 as it currently stands. Anas still alive. We got the picture-in-picture. Anas at the bottom right, Kami at the top right. Keep an eye on both, because it'll come down to a big push from Kami. I like the aggression coming through already. As now on board the Nas. There's a pepper to his name. He'll pop that soon. He's going to pick up for an Elim as well. They're just taking turns at this point, picking up a limb after Elim. Look at Adasco taking the wide angle, thinking it might net him an opportunity to get a peekaboo type of shot, type of flank. And oh, close opportunity with the AR here. He is just drilling into some players' builds.
Yes, that's right. He's going absolute sicko mode here. He's on the pepper, so you see how much speed he has and momentum in his favor here. Nas is turning up right now. 160 points, looking to take the throne for first place right now. But here's Cammy, again, still in the end game, finding his way through, scoring placement here. Teak is finally going to fall to the Sectos now, so unfortunate for him. He's going to lose his run, but not before getting a top 20. Still pretty decent. Now back in with Cammy, though, who's looking to rotate back and forwards. He's looking for an Elim right now, though. You can tell he's hunting. He's still sitting very nicely, and yes, he's going to find some tags here. Question is, can he confirm one? The RPG tucks in and finds Vise with a big shot there. Anas also still lighting up the feed, so we know he's going crazy right now. Artur, tag for White's fallout. It's not looking good for him, but he does have high ground.
Brilliant 180, quick edit there from Kami. We did see Teak get taken out. I believe Mr. Savage is alive as one of our no-name players. Want to give you guys all the intel we can. Nikov, another one that is alive. Kami doing such a good job with the quick reload. Yes! He's going to connect for another one on Artur. That's the glider gun. Glider gun maybe out, maybe picked up. I think it will be picked up. It's a one versus a few. Kami connects for another one. 4 players above him. Can Kami do this from the low ground? He's picking up a limb after Elim, playing out of his mind.
How is it that he still has Matt's heals and everything to work with and no one nearby? This is absolutely incredible. Anas goes for the crash pad for height, and it's a successful one. The RPG connects, the fall damage follows right afterwards, and someone goes down there, and now it's Cammy who's in a box underneath the cone, and he hits the big shot that matters the most. And now a Nas, 199 points, looking to secure the Victory Royale fallout. 4 elims, the crash pads to break the builds. He sends someone flying into the zone. That guy's out of here. And here it goes, the RPG down to low ground. And it's Cammy. The shots exchanged. And now we're looking at the 1v1. Here goes the charge. One more shot is all it's going to take. A Nas, can you do it? He's incredible. No! Cammy with the bigger shot in the final moments.
You have to be kidding me. A massive shot from Kami, who had no way to win that round. Beautiful strafe comes through. Beautiful shot. There's so much to talk about. We will break it down right after this.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ball2W, one of the casters for the DreamHack Open. And if you guys haven't watched the DreamHack before, they kind of like their music. So I'm going to be taking a couple minutes here to rate some of their audio tracks. Let's hear it. Oh, yes. Where are we going with this? I think we should use that as the intro to all DreamHack Open Fortnites, because that sounds like a great sitcom that I want to watch. So you know, might not be something I listen to on the daily, but that's a intro out of 10 for sure.
She wakes up with a smile, holds it for a little while. Don't let it go, let it go. When the light's going down through the night, the music never dies, the music never dies, the music never dies.
Yes. Yes, that gets me in the mood for Fortnite. Yes, that's some hype stuff. That's what I want to hear. Let's go. Nice. Let's see. What's my new scale? You know, that's probably like a nice 8 out of 10, probably. Maybe a little bit more hype, maybe a new vocalist or something like that to bring it up to a 9 and bring it up to a 10. But that got me excited, you know, so 8 out of 10. Okay, little vocals.
Look at me now. Look, man, I was searching for a better way, praying, hoping for a better
Wasn't
day.
expecting that.
Never quit, never hesitate. If it's a will, it's gotta be a way. Working fast food on the weekends, got a second job just to meet ends. Never quit though, I admit at times life seem to be in peak. Hey, look this way, look at me now. Hey, look this way, look at me now.
Oh.
Hey, look this way, look at me now. Hey, look this way, look at me now.
Okay, I was not expecting the rapping. I don't know. The intro was kind of nice. The drop was like, okay, it's okay. Maybe this one's gonna get like a 60 out of 100. That's my scale today. 60 out of 100. All right, guys, that was not related to Fortnite, but we got more Fortnite coming up, so stick around.
Welcome back, everyone, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. We are now halfway through the day for European Grand Finals. 100 players are competing for the $250,000 prize pool. And, you know, I always like to say that it's anyone's game, but it kind of looks like it's Mr. Savage's game right now.
Hey, we saw Mr. Savage pull up big in the end game there. He was there. I know the place weren't on, but Anas, Cammy, Mr. Savage Fallout, they were going crazy.
That's exactly right. Mr. Savage, I believe, gets 5th place. So, and that's the crazy thing with him is no matter where the end zone is going, if it's the very far southeast, the longest rotation he has to make, or if it stays up north near Frenzy Farm, he's finding success. He's playing consistent. He's playing either for placement, playing for elims, changing up his game. I'm loving what I'm seeing, but I just cannot wait to see the replay and to talk about that last shot from Cammy. That was one of the most disgusting flicks and shots I have seen in a 1 versus 1 in Fortnite.
Then let's take a quick...
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, let's look at the highlights right now.
Right. I was just gonna continue to jump on that because, like we said, it wasn't just the fact that he had the disadvantage. It was the fact that Anas was probably on full adrenaline mode. Think about how many frags he picked up at the end there. I don't blame him for like just being out of his element and not hitting the shot when it mattered the most. He was absolutely tearing up a rampage. But to jump into the highlights here, we have the catch up for the game 4 here. This is halfway mark for the competition, ladies and gents. And this is the one right here, Fallout, that we were talking about. Cammy swinging back around and hits the crucial shot.
Beautiful. And what he did right there to break it down, he has to strafe because it one shot and he's dead. So he has to dodge that last shot. Hits a beautiful movement strafe. I've seen some people on Twitter, big shout to Ashley, by the way, if she's watching, talking about, hey, what does movement mean? That is it. That's that rhythm where you're going to predict that person's shotgun shot. And right before they shoot, you do a little wiggle strafe. He connects back, then flicks, gets the headshot. That was disgusting. Anas had right-hand advantage. He had, and really, Cammy had no business winning that fight. Instead, he comes out on top. I love that movement into the shot coming through from Cammy.
Yeah, Nas seems to be sitting pretty well now on the leaderboards. Let's take a look at the top 20 right there. And the first thing that really sticks out to me with the leaderboards right now is Mr. Savage on top with a 50-point lead. But more so than that is that he is actually, out of the top 5 players, the only one to not get a victory royale, which really speaks on his consistency.
And it's crazy. Another top 5 finish for Mr. Savage. Consistency playing all the way through. But look at this. Anas with the momentous swing back. Remember, he scored 78 points that game right there just by staying in the game, finding the frags when it matters most. So he's very much in this competition right now. And you see what happens. One game and you fall behind so fast. This top 10 is shaping up to be so good right now.
A couple more things I'm seeing on this I think are really important to talk about. Castery burst into the top 15. So we've been talking about that story. We've been kind of building that narrative since Friday, if you will. Great performances out of him. I'm loving the way he's showing up here on Sunday. Another big one, Cammy went from 28th place to top 5, where he's currently standing. Anas went from 5th to 3rd. So there's some big jumps for some big players who are making big plays when it matters the most on Championship Sunday.
Yeah, speaking of those big plays, let's pull up the map right now. And I know, Monster, you have some big plays you want to talk about.
Yeah, a couple moments that really shape things up. Let's bring a focus down here, right? This is where we saw Mongrel choke the shot up against the Septos. But let's talk about the Septos performance after that, because he's going to go ahead and then turn that frag into 4 more coming into the end game. Absolutely ridiculous. And then just south of that, we have another crucial elim down in this area. We're talking about Rax. Rax was already in top 10. Remember, coming in, but picking up 2, 3, 4 more eliminations leading into that end game. He was also clawing his way up the food chain before getting sniped out a little bit sooner towards that end game. Regardless of what, though, there was more action unfolding. We saw the Eastern kind of battle over here with the Marauders kind of joining the fray in, where Tayson ends up getting popped before moving into the Frenzy Farm and then sniped and taking out the competition. So a lot of different dynamics unfolding on the portions of the map here. I'm talking mainly, though, I think the most important is the fact that the battle outside of the Authority is insane, because there's even more action happening between CRR and Rezon, which happened just west of Risky Real. So the center mass really being the hot spot, that zone right there. This is where Reason gets taken out. Remember, Reason was in 24th place coming into that game, but being stopped in his tracks. All of a sudden now he's losing his momentum. So we'll see if this is a mentality shift for him or if he can bounce back.
Yep. One other thing I want to call out. We did catch a lot of the action over in Caddy Corner and Lazy Lake. Benji with the early kill on Wolfies. Keep an eye on that, as Benji and Wolfies in that Lazy Lake fight might continue to happen, or will Wolfies go back to Caddy Corner? And one thing I'm just shocked about all up is we have still 4 games in, have not seen the Shockwave launcher really in much of an effect. We're wondering what's going on with this Caddy Corner fight. So just keep an eye on if that changes. I like to call out on Tayson. He was able to make the rotation all the way through here, and in that rotation was able to pick up really free loot. No one's really dropping, not too much action over on the top northeast side of the map. And then, of course, the one mythic item that did come into effect was the grapple gun, as we saw from Authority. And, of course, Ocean's weapons coming through from Fortilla, as we saw Mongol end up, of course, getting those somehow as someone made that rotation through. Mongol was probably able to find a pick somewhere along the way. And I'd love to see that fight from his perspective, because something seemed a little fishy in that box fight. But in the end, Deceptos did pick up the elim and picked up a few more after that.
Well, we're going to be jumping into the game in just a moment there. Monster, is another thing that you wanted to add before we toss it to a quick break?
I was just going to say, it's looking like FNCS Invitational is all over again, where the grappler is coming out on top.